CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals is trading at $1.15. And when we go to Simply Wall Street, you can see the two biggest shareholders are Phillip Frost on around 10% and Fred Hassan, who is on almost 8%. You can see right here that the net worth of Phillip Frost is $2.1 billion. His fortune comes from having developed innovative new treatments and brought them to market and selling on pharmaceutical companies that he's built out from scratch and selling them to larger pharmaceutical companies as well. When it comes to serial entrepreneur success among South Florida's billionaires, Dr. Phillip Frost continues to lead the list. Frost and a partner bought struggling Key Pharmaceuticals in 1972 and sold it on to Schering-Plough for $835 million in 1986. This article on Forbes also states that Frost joined Key Pharmaceuticals in 1972, reformulated its asthma drug and sold the company in 1986 for $836 million. Frost formed another company, IVAX, which he turned from a domestic drug company into a global generics drug company. In 2005, Israel's Teva acquired IVAX for $7.6 billion. That was Frost's first billion. And this is how Phillip Frost has amassed his personal fortune of $2.1 billion, which you can see here. So now to Fred Hassan, who holds an almost 8% stake in CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals. You can see that Fred Hassan is a board of directors at Precigen. Many of you that have been with this channel for a while will know that I've been tracking Precigen for over a year and a half now. I was tracking this stock when it was trading at, just over $1 and even under $1. And followed it all the way until its first drug approval, which saw the stock actually reach highs of almost $5, which it achieved once the FDA approved their first commercially viable treatment called Papzimeos, which you can see right here. And so many of you know that one of my investment strategies is to invest with highly skilled individuals with a proven track record of the past. And here we have CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals with its two largest shareholders being Phillip Frost, who holds this 10% stake, like I said, and is worth $2.1 billion, and Fred Hassan with almost 8%. And so Fred Hassan is highly regarded in the pharmaceutical industry. He's held numerous positions as CEOs and as directors in a whole host of different biotech and pharmaceutical companies. You can see this article on Yahoo Finance. Fred Hassan, former CEO of Schering-Plough and former chairman of Bausch & Lomb, joins Prometheus Biosciences board. Previously, Mr. Hassan served as chairman and chief executive of Schering-Plough from 2003 to 2009. And so during this time, he was responsible for a big turnaround in the company, transforming their pipeline and reinvesting in the R&D in the company as well. Mr. Hassan has been a director of Amgen since 2015 and Precigen Corporation. He was chairman of the board of Bausch & Lomb from 2010 until its acquisition by Valeant Pharmaceuticals International, and served on the board of Valeant Pharmaceuticals from 2013 to 2014. Mr. Hassan received an undergraduate degree from Imperial College of Science and Technology, University of London, and a master's degree in business administration from Harvard Business School. Fred Hassan is highly regarded in the industry, so much so that on one hand we have Phillip Frost, who is partnered with him, if you like, at CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals, and obviously, it's well documented that Phillip Frost has this net worth. And so on top of that, Fred Hassan is closely aligned with Randall Kirk, the majority shareholder of Precigen, which is, like I mentioned previously in this video, the stock that I was tracking at in and around $1 and saw it all the way up to quite recently $5 at the time of the approval of Papzimeos. CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals is trading near its all-time low. There was a recent dilution of shares, which you can see here too, where CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals announces closing of up to 13 million registered direct offering priced at the market under NASDAQ rules. And if you follow me for a while, you know that I like to align with individuals. I invest with individuals with a proven track record and pedigree, and then make entries into stocks like this one at times of turbulence when the market seems pessimistic. You can see here the recent government shutdown. FDA winds down operations amid government shutdown. Though the FDA will continue with its core activities, the agency will no longer be accepting NDAs and BLAs. The US Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has stripped its operations down following the government shutdown on 1st of October. This comes amid the healthcare spending stalemate, which saw Republicans and Democrats clash over the removal of tax credits and Medicaid cuts proposed in the HR 5371 bill. Until the two parties reach a deal, which may take over a month to reach, according to Senator Richard Burr, a wide range of government agencies will go into temporary shutdown, including the FDA. There are two critical things to note with all of this is that, first of all, this is a self-induced shutdown, which, I consider this to be a short-term issue. I think that the two parties will resolve this. And once there is a level of negotiation and concession on both parties and they can agree a deal, things will reopen. So this is very much something which can be resolved. The second point is that the major catalysts coming up for CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals do not involve any kind of BLA submissions or anything of that. In fact, it's the opposite. It's that CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals are actually relying on themselves to release data on some of these clinical trials in the end of this year or early next year. Therefore, they're not really relying on the FDA for anything at the moment. And it's almost as if CoCrystal are in complete control of their future, and it's very much critical that they announce these positive data results on the treatments in their pipeline, because this is what's going to cause the share price to spike quite massively. You know, we could see a share price double or triple based on the current price at the moment because of this kind of turbulence that the market has seen. In the next video, I'm going to go into more details about CoCrystal Pharmaceuticals. I'm going to take a bit more of a deep dive into who they are and also their pipeline, and go into details about the catalyst coming up for the stock.